Hey there guys, and welcome to ERF's Squatting for Beginners 101. I know what you might be thinking, squatting for beginners, really? But as with anything, if you lay down a proper foundation for something, you will move on sooner to greater things and greater squats. So with that said, we're going to give you 3 cues today to help you lay down your foundation and get a better squat. So without further ado, here's your first cue. Stand with your feet shoulder width apart and slightly externally rotated. As I just mentioned, the better of a foundation you have, the better you're going to do things. So with your feet shoulder width apart, it will make for a stable foundation so you can go down and up in balance. Additionally, the external rotation in your feet will make it so that your knees track your toes and give your hips enough room to work. So with that said, guys, let's move on to the actual squat, and we're ready for our next cue, which is keep your chest up as you bend your knees to get lower. This is an important one. The reason for this is that when you don't keep your chest upright in your squat, it can lead to this weird hip hinge squat hybrid, which is really bad patterning for your squat. And down the road, when you're working with weight, it can lead to compromises that will load up your lower back, which is not good, never good. So in order to not do that, focus on keeping your chest upright and your eyes on the horizon as you go into your squat. Regardless, if you wind up loading your lower back up, you're going to get the feedback from your lower back. So if you're feeling that, something is off. It's also possible to extend through your back too aggressively and to keep your chest upright, which will also give you feedback. So you want to find a happy medium in your squat where you're not feeling your lower back at all. All right, so that's 2 down and 1 to go. Here is your next and last cue for a better squat. Center your weight in the middle of your foot. Okay, so you may be asking yourself, when I squat, where should the weight on my foot be? Should it be closer to my toes? Should it be back on my heel? The right answer is that it should be right in the middle of your foot. This will encourage proper squatting function and distribution of weight. If your weight is too far forward on your toes, you're loading up your knees. If it's too far back on your heels, you're probably going to turn this into a balancing act. So the best distribution you can have for your squatting weight as you go down is feeling it right in the center of your foot. Okay guys, so with all 3 cues down, now let's start taking you through some variation in your squat to make it more challenging. The first thing I'm going to talk about is the goblet squat. This is one where you hold a weight with both hands under your chin and right above your chest to add weight to your squat. As you get better at doing this, you can start putting the weight out in front of you further and further to further challenge your core and your squat. This is one though where if you put the weight too far out in front of you and if it weighs too heavily, your chest may start dipping and your arms may start dipping. If this happens, you've probably gone too far out and you want to keep the weight a little closer to your body. In addition to that, if you don't have access to heavier weights, you can start playing around with the tempo of your squats to make them more challenging. And what I mean by that is that in your regular squat, if it takes you about 1 second to go down and 1 second to go back up, I'd encourage you to slow it down to a 4-second descent, pause at the bottom for like a second or 2, and then come back up as normal. This will add intensity to your squats without actually upping the weight. So with that said, I hope you found this video useful, and if you're working on your squat, may it help you find your way to a better squat. If you found this useful and like the content, please like, subscribe, and comment. We welcome any and all feedback and are happy to answer as many comments as possible. We look forward to seeing you on the next video, and have a great day. Alright, and as a special bonus, and to show you what's going on behind the scenes, I want you to meet my director, Chrisanna, and my production assistant, Kyler. None of this would be possible without them, so big hand to them. Pat on the back, guys. See you guys next time.